In this video, we are going over how I manifested moving abroad, and you can too. So essentially, that's what we're going to be going over: how to manifest moving abroad, how to live in another country. I have all this stuff I want to go over with you that really helped me to do this. This is some very, very powerful stuff, and if you apply this, I guarantee that you will make huge strides towards living in another country that you maybe always have wanted to live in. And so that's going to come up next, so stick around. Hi guys, welcome to HeartSpace. My name is Dave, and on this channel we are helping you to, I almost forgot, they're helping you to raise your consciousness, up the consciousness scale, bring more awareness to you, and just really help you to live the life that you want to live. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell icon so you don't miss any videos that we release. Now, like I said, I want to go over how I manifested moving abroad. It's something I always wanted to do when I was younger, but I didn't really start taking it very seriously until probably my mid-20s. I'm 28 now, so you have a reference there. But essentially, for the last 2 years, I've been living abroad in countries such as Thailand. I've been to Indonesia and Bali twice. We've been to Cambodia twice, even getting to go to Angkor Wat twice. One of those times being at a unique time where we got to go to Angkor Wat when almost no one else was there. And that was an amazing experience. We've lived in Canada, Mexico in that time as well. And we've also been to Malaysia, and I'm forgetting one, Vietnam, Da Nang in that time. And if you looked at my life before these last 2 years, I wasn't doing any of that stuff. I was still in my hometown, really living where I'd lived for 20 plus years of my life. And I just really felt stuck there. And I feel like a lot of people are like that. Maybe you're like that. You feel stuck where you are right now. You want to get out and explore. You want to get out and see what the world has to offer. You want to live on a beach, which I've done, just a beautiful beach where it's peaceful and quiet and you can just spend all day at the beach drinking a coconut. I've legitimately done that. That stereotypical like commercial they show you when it's like, oh, live abroad. I literally have done that, so that's kind of funny. But I've done so many other incredible things in these last 2 years. And I really want to show you how living abroad doesn't need to be hard. Bringing this into your life doesn't need to be hard if you do a few very simple things. And so that's what we're going to be going over in this video. And I really guarantee you, I promise you, if you start doing all of this stuff, you may find in not that long from now, maybe a year, maybe longer, maybe less, depending on how often you do this stuff and how you apply it, you may find yourself in a new environment, in a new country, just soaking up all the experience that brings. So I want to go over what I did. I put it all up on this board for you to organize it. And like I said, the last 2 years has just been an incredible adventure. Me and my girlfriend came to Thailand first, almost 2 years ago now. I believe it was in either June or July. The exact date escapes me, but it was in the summer, so we're coming up to it. And these last 2 years have been incredible. I've grown more as a person in these last 2 years than I did in all of my other years on the planet. Right now, I've done so many different things, discovered so much about myself, had so many amazing experiences, met some incredible people. It's just been one of the best decisions I've ever made to move abroad. And I really do feel a lot of people want to do this, but they don't know how, or they don't think it's possible. And so hopefully this video will not only give you the ways how, but it will also put into your mind the possibility of it, that this is not only possible, but if you do these things, it's probable. So here's the first thing I want to give you that I believe is so important, and what I did that helped this along is I set the intention. I decided that I was going to do it. It wasn't some wishy-washy decision. It wasn't something where I went, oh, well, that would be nice, but, whatever, that doesn't really happen, or it's unlikely, or I got all this stuff to do here. No, I made the decision, I'm going to move. I'm going to move abroad. And at first, I didn't know exactly where I was going to move. I actually was looking at certain locations, looking up things. And another place I was looking at was Serbia. Belgrade, I believe. Is Belgrade Serbia? I think it is. But I was looking at Serbia and Thailand. And where I actually ended up going and where I decided to go was Thailand. But, a while before I ever stepped foot in Thailand for the first time, I had the intention and I knew 100% I was going to do it. I had faith and belief that this was going to happen. This was a decision I was making, not like a wishy-washy, daydreaming in like a this is never going to happen type of way. We'll get into daydreaming because that's important. important. But this was something where I'm like, no, I'm going to go to Thailand. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get there, but I'm setting this intention and I will do what I need to do in order to get there. And when you make an intention, guys, when you make a decision like that, you'll be amazed at what the universe brings you in order to help make that happen. Like, you will be astounded how things will start to fall into place, and we'll get into some of those synchronicities a little later, but how these synchronicities will come into place to help you to get what it is that you are wanting, what it is that you desire. And in this case, it was moving abroad. So the first important thing, guys, is you have to set the intention. It has to be, yes, I want to do this. It resonates with me. It's in my heart. And once you've made that decision, it's done. As long as you start taking the guidance from the universe, the intuitive things that come in, downloads, and start acting upon them, it's done. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time at this moment, in the sense that the matter around you has to shift in some way. The environment has to shift in some way for you to be there. And we'll get into how that happens as well. So the next thing I want to go over are the practices that I did that allowed me to come to Thailand or moved the needle forward. Because one thing I want to make very clear, it's not enough just to set the intention. It's not enough to do some of the practices I'm going to give you. You have to actually take the actions that come about from setting the intention, from setting the motion, the process in motion, from taking some of these actions I'm going to tell you. You have to then actually take the corresponding action. Now, I'll let you know when that comes up, what you should do. So the practices I did, some of them very intentional, some of them I came about accidentally, but they might sound so simple, but bear with me here, and I will go over how this manifested in me actually being here in Thailand right now, where I'm filming this in its beautiful location. Maybe I'll have some B-roll if I have it of that. I'll definitely have B-roll of Cambodia come across when I'm mentioning that. But the practices I had is I changed my thoughts and the way I the way I spoke to that of someone who was definitely going to do it. So I was thinking about Thailand all the time. I was thinking about what I was going to do there. I was thinking about what it was going to be like. I would speak to people and tell them I'm going to Thailand. I wasn't speaking to them and saying, you know, I'm thinking of going to Thailand. I'm thinking of moving abroad. You know, it would be cool if I was. What do you guys think? Do you think it would be cool, you know, looking for people's approval? Long before I was in Thailand, I was telling friends and family, I'm going to move to Thailand. Long before I had the funds to do so as well, long before other people would have been like, okay, I can actually go now because I have everything in place to go, I made the decision and it was reflected in my thoughts and my words. There weren't thoughts in my head that I can't do it because of this, this, and that. The thoughts in my head were, it's only a matter of time. The thoughts in my head were how great it's going to feel when I'm on that beach with that coconut in hand, just, you know, listening to the waves. That's what I was thinking about. And that's the way I was speaking too. I was speaking to people and I'm clearly excited about going to Thailand. And it was before, again, I never bought the ticket or I had done anything in the physical world to make it happen. I had decided to do it and I reflected that in my thoughts and words. Because guys, if you make the decision or the intention to do it, but then your thoughts and words are misaligned, like your thinking is like, oh, I can't do this. You know, the money's not coming in. This is not happening. I don't even know anything about Thailand. I don't know anyone there. I'll be by myself, whatever it is. And you're speaking to people in like this wishy-washy way of like, I'm thinking of going, but you know, it might not happen. It might happen. We'll see. Then you're not aligned to the thing you want. You are communicating to the universe when you are like that, when you're wishy-washy like that you don't actually want it. You see, to communicate to the universe that you actually want it, you have to align to it now. You have to become the person that is doing it, the person that is aligned to have something in their life like that happen. And it will not happen before you actually do that. That's why so many people you probably know or so many people you've heard of have said they want to go somewhere, 10 years goes by and they didn't do it. Because they never align themselves with actually doing it. They never become the person they could become that is the person that would do it. So hopefully that makes sense. And remember, a lot of what makes us up, a lot of our belief systems come from our thoughts and words, so you need to change that. The next thing I did is I deliberately saved. I didn't just allow, and this is part of the action taking, I didn't just be like, oh, universe, have things fall into my lap. Now, I definitely had a lot of help from the universe in the sense of synchronicities, but a lot of times what the universe will bring you is intuitive downloads of actions you should take. And the universe made it very clear to me that I should start saving money in order to afford this trip. And so what I did is I downloaded an app called Capital. Back then it was free to download. I think it costs money now. But what Capital did is anytime money came into my checking account in my bank, it would distribute it into different categories. And one of those categories was called long-term or travel money or something like that. I still have it actually and I'll use it towards trips. But basically it would take like a certain percentage of any money that came in and stuff it away in that account, and it would build up in the background. And by the time I actually went to Thailand, there was enough money or a lot of money in that really helped me to get there. And I found money in other ways as well, again, synchronistically through the universe, and just, again, so many things will fall into place when you set the intention and you align to it. But I started saving. Because again, that's me taking the action I need to take. That's a part of the co-creative process of getting me there. Because you can't just rely on the universe to like pick you up and place you there. It will bring you the ideas. It will bring you, these little synchronistic events and sometimes big things too. But you then have to do your part and take the action. And in that case, my action was to make sure I was actually saving money and putting money towards this. And again, that can be very simple. Whatever you earn, just put as much as you think you can now towards this trip. Again, if you put more towards it, it's going to happen probably sooner. Although there are other things that can happen that can make it happen sooner as well. But this pretty much guaranteed that eventually it was going to happen because I was always putting money away towards actually being able to get there. The next thing I did is I daydreamed and visualized about being in Thailand all the time. Now I mentioned that up here with my thoughts and my words, but I was living in Thailand before I ever stepped foot in Thailand. I was visualizing all the time, deliberately, like sitting down to deliberately visualize myself there. And also just accidentally as I would go through my day, like thinking about what it would be like to be on the beaches, to interact with the Thai people, to interact with other nomadic people in those places, to go to temples and do all this different stuff. I think I knew at that time I wanted to go to Angkor Wat at some point in Cambodia. So I was thinking about that kind of experience. And I was visualizing and daydreaming this stuff all of the time. And guys, when you are crystallizing an image in your mind, the universe will take that image. It knows what you're thinking. It knows what you're imaging. It will take that image and it will start the process in the background of bringing things to you that are going to help you make that image a reality. So if you keep thinking about something, the universe is going to synchronistically start bringing you certain things that are going to help you get that thing you are imagining. Now you have to daydream and visualize it a lot, because imagine if it gave you everything you thought of ever. Well, then anytime you thought of something like, oh, what if I did this terrible thing? Or what if this terrible thing happened to me? It would happen and you wouldn't want that. So this only happens for things you really visualize often. You put yourself on that frequency and you receive back things on that frequency. And the universe will make it so. Again, you have to take the action and we'll get into that. But because I was visualizing so often, I started getting these synchronistic things coming into my life, and then it was up to me to really walk through the door. And another thing I did, guys, is I watched travel vlogs. Watch people who are doing the thing you're currently doing. I used to watch a guy called Lost LeBlanc, and he used to do all of these incredible vlogs. I mean, he still does probably. He has all of these incredible vlogs of Asia, which is where I was going. And he had a lot of incredible ones for Thailand. And so I would watch his and some others, but he's the only one I remember. So his obviously stand out in my mind. I would watch his vlogs and I would see how beautiful these places are. And it would get me feeling even better about going. It would get me excited. And I don't have that written down here, guys, but getting excited about the place you are thinking of going to is a huge practice that you can do. Feeling good about being there, feeling good about the place you want to go to is going to actually go a long way to getting you there, because you can ride that wave of excitement. That's going to help you take the actions needed. That's going to bring in more thoughts of excitement about the place. That's going to, again, create this internal environment of you being there, feeling good while you are there, being excited while you're there. That's going to create the external environment eventually of you actually being in that location. And so watching travel vlogs, guys, if you want to move abroad somewhere, if you want to manifest moving abroad, I can't recommend that enough. It's going to help you with your visualizations, because you're going to see what the place looks like. It's going to help you to start daydreaming about it more, think about it more. The more you can really just saturate your life in the place you want to be, and really make it so that you're almost like feeling how it feels to be there right now, despite not physically being there, the quicker you're going to get there. And for those of you who have never experienced this, that might sound a bit strange, but it works, and it works every single time. The more you can surround yourself with that place before you're even there, the quicker you're going to get there. Because if you've created the internal environment within you of you being there, you're feeling the feelings of you there, you're seeing yourself there, the external eventually has to match it. And the universe will bring you those synchronicities that will help you do that. So next things, guys, is the attracting part. And this is where we're gonna go through these two pretty quick because they work hand in hand, they work together, is you're gonna start seeing signs that it's getting closer. Like for me, I started getting all of these things. It was interesting when I was getting closer and closer to going to Thailand, like a couple of months before, I started getting things like, and I wasn't even searching for this, but flights to Thailand. I started getting like ads for that. I started getting these interesting videos that were giving me all this information about certain places in Thailand. And one of the biggest signs I got is someone reached out to me just randomly, someone who I didn't know at the time and who has become a friend now, who had lived in Thailand, actually played professional football in Thailand. And he asked me, hey, what kind of place do you like? I told him what we were looking for, and he recommended a place that not many people know about, but is amazing, called Chumpong. And he recommended this place, and it is now a place we go back to all of the time. And this was another sign of the universe, aligning things for me, bringing people, events, circumstances to me to help me get to the thing that I was wanting, my desire, which was to live in Thailand. It now brought me this person, again, who's become a good friend, who knew so much about Thailand, who has helped me enormously when it comes to getting to Thailand, living in Thailand, knowing the stuff around there. And finding a place that I still consider my most favorite place in the world, Chumpong. It's the place where the beach is, it's almost like a private beach, and it's just amazing. The energy there is amazing. It feels amazing. The air is fresh. It's just absolutely gorgeous. We also, while we were there, attracted this Airbnb host and his wife that are just the sweetest people we've ever met in our lives, and just so much has come out of that. But the universe will give you these signs. It will bring things to you, but then the important thing is you need to walk through the door. And this is what I was saying earlier. Like when you align and you start thinking and you start actually aligning yourself with the thing that you want, a ton of stuff is going to happen, but you need to have the awareness to pick up on it and to notice and realize it's a sign from the universe. It's an invitation from the universe, but you have to open the invitation and take the action. You see, the universe is always opening different doors for you based on the frequency, the energy, the vibration that you're currently in. But it is up to you to walk through the doors. It's like that famous saying, you can take a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink. He could just stand there and never take the drink of water. He could, die of dehydration. It's really up to you. The universe is always opening up doors. And so when you're doing all of this stuff right here, all these practices, all these signs are coming in, nothing is actually going to happen in the physical world that much. You're not going to get there. You're not going to have these huge things happen until you walk through the door. You have to take the opportunity. And this is when you need to take the leap. And this is probably the most important thing. This is what completes the whole cycle of manifesting this or anything else, is you have to take the action, the corresponding action, the equivalent action of the things that are coming your way, of the signs that are coming in. Again, your intuitive response, the universe will give you the information you need to know which decisions to make. It will literally bring the circumstances to you, but it's up to you to then take hold of them, to seize it, to take that leap. And so for me, despite having saved money, despite having all of these things, I still needed to make the leap. I still needed to dive into the unknown to get myself to Thailand. Because even though I'd been saving and I'd been thinking about it all the time, I still had to take the risk and actually go for it. Because you'll hear people who make excuses like, I have to save enough money, I have to do this before I make the leap or go and actually do something. But even when they have the money, even when, it seems like they have everything they need, they still won't do it. Because they think that having the money or all these external things will give them the security that if they go do it, then that everything will be okay and everything will turn out the way they want it. Guys, when you're moving abroad, it is an unknown situation. You're moving to a country or going somewhere you've never been before. You don't know the culture. You don't know maybe a lot of things about it. So there is a leap you have to take, and it's the case with anything that you want to manifest. You have to take the leap. You have to, at the end of the day, despite whatever is going on, be like, okay, it's time to just pull the trigger here. It's time to go. And so me and my girlfriend did this when we were at an event, and the event host actually said after day one, so what I want you guys to do is tonight is make a big heart-based decision. I want you to take a leap. He goes over this leap process a lot. His name is Kyle Seish. You can look him up. Fantastic guy, fantastic teacher. And so Lily and I had already planned to go to Thailand together, and we already knew that was going to happen, but we hadn't set a date. And I looked at her after Kyle said that, and I said, when we get back, let's order the tickets. Let's just order the tickets to Thailand and we'll figure out the rest from there. Let's take the leap. And we literally threw ourselves into the unknown. I don't think we had an Airbnb at that time. I don't think we had anything, but we went back, we bought the tickets, and I think bought them for 2 weeks after the event. And so we had 2 weeks now to figure out, like let's get an Airbnb and all this kind of stuff. And it was a fun adventure to do all of that stuff. And I'm so happy we made that decision, because we could have been like forever, for months or year, who even knows, to the point where we maybe even never did it and gone like, oh, when's the perfect date going to be, blah, blah, blah. No, in that moment of inspiration, we went, let's just leap. Let's just do it. We bought the tickets, and 2 weeks later, we were in Thailand. And guys, that's how you're going to manifest moving abroad. If you do all of this, if you get it so where you're setting the intention, you're doing these practices, you're looking out for those attracting signs, those synchronicities would probably be a better word to put there, and then you're taking the leap when the opportunity presents itself and you're walking through the door, you will find yourself in that country you're thinking about moving to before you know it. All right, guys, so I hope that it's helped you. Again, I want to share this because I've lived the last 2 years pretty much in Asia. I know I've gone to Mexico and Canada as well, but pretty much 2 years outside of America, which is where I lived most of my life. And it has been probably the best, actually not probably, it has been the best 2 years of my life. The adventures, the experiences. I live a completely different life than I was living 2 years ago now. And it all came from that one decision to set the intention, do those practices, look out for the signs, and then take the leap. And I would love for you to have that as well. You are just as capable of doing it as I am and anyone else that's done it. And if you want that, if that's something you desire, please put these into practice and it will happen for you. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I love you, and I will see you in the next one.